In today's news, Kawa, Cornwall and Kadeem Frett identified as the fatal victims of Friday's shooting, and public officer Lorna Stevens arrested and charged with breach of trust, and the mask policy for government offices lifted effective November 1st, and members of the public urged to submit feedback on Jury Act 2022. Well, viewers, these and more stories when 284 News returns.
Freeze. Choose your mix. Choose your flavor.
You value traditions. Today, you value music. You value education. Family.
I love you.
Service.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
Well, welcome viewers to the Monday, October 24th edition of 284 News. I am Kamal Haynes, bringing you the latest out of the British Virgin Islands. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Well, leading today's newscast, 38-year-old Kawa Cornwall and of Longbush and 28-year-old Kadeem Frett of Longlook have been identified as the two victims who succumbed to their injuries following Friday evening's fatal shooting in East End. Well, this was confirmed by the major crime team of the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, which said two other persons were also injured during the incident. What they said, and I quote, "Well, the two other male victims injured in the shooting are both in stable condition. One of the injured is a minor," the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force stated. Well, Commissioner of Police Mark Collins described the early evening assault as brazen and reckless, adding that he hopes members of the public who are aware of the perpetrator or perpetrators will come forward quickly with information. Well, he said, and I quote, "Well, so many more persons could have lost their lives during the early evening hours of this vicious assault. It shows a grave disregard for a human life not often seen in this territory, which impacts the entire community. We are asking for the public's help in identifying the person or persons responsible. Any information is considered valuable at this point," end quote. While also appealing for more information on the incident is the major crime team, who is asking for the assistance of anyone with information relating to the incident to be forthcoming. But they said, and I quote, "Well, witnesses are also being asked to come forward with information. Well, persons with information can contact the major crime team at 368-5682 or the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force Intelligence Unit at 368-9339, end quote. Well, moving on, viewers, where the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force confirmed with our news room that public officer in the Ministry of Education, Ms. Lorna Stevens, has been arrested and charged for breach of trust in connection with investigations pertaining to the Elmore Stout High School perimeter wall. Well, police stated, and I quote, "Well, police can confirm that Lorna Stevens was arrested and charged for breach of trust by a public officer. She was granted bail. No further information is available at this time," end quote. But Stevens is the second individual to be arrested and charged in connection with the perimeter wall investigations, with the first being M. Kelvin Thomas, 55, of Chowell Estate, Tortola. But Thomas was charged in June 2022 with obtaining property by deception, making a false statement to a public officer, and possession of the proceeds of criminal conduct. Well, Stevens was also called as a witness in the recently conducted Commission of Inquiry hearings. Well, as part of the Commission of Inquiry recommendations, investigations were conducted for a full review of the perimeter wall project. Well, there is more to come as this story continues to develop. Well, moving on, viewers, we're beginning next month. Public officers and residents conducting business in government offices will no longer be mandated to wear a mask. Well, this follows the discontinuation of the mask policy for public officers and offices, which according to the Deputy Governor David Archer Jr. comes into effect from November 1st. Well, he explained that the Public Service instituted an extension of the mask policy for 3 to 6 months after it was initially lifted for public places on June 15th, considering the high interaction of public officers with the public, especially frontline support, receptionists, and other officers who give direct and regular service to external clients. Well, he said, and I quote, "As the Deputy Governor, discussions regarding developing and instituting a mask policy for public officers and offices in the absence of a legal mandate were conducted with senior leaders of the public service, noting public and private organizations were still allowed to set their own policies on face covering." The Deputy Governor added that the choice will now be up to each individual whether they will decide to wear masks in public offices if they deem it necessary for their safety and peace of mind. Well, up next, viewers, members of the public urged to submit feedback on Jury Act 2022, and the BVI USVI Friendship Day 2022 showcased BVI culture in grand style. Well, these and more stories after a word from our sponsors.
Introducing a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. It doesn't always involve suits and bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons. I'm taking you outside in the field to share the journey of some of the BVI's best and brightest men. From East End to West End, Virgin Gorda to Jos Van Dyke, not forgetting Anegada. Our Virgin Islands gentlemen are doing the damn thing. We are the movers and shakers of this generation. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman. Season 4 by yours truly, Ron Grant. Raising a generation of greatness. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on 284 Media.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
There's a reason you get up on a morning. A reason you pick yourself up, start the day. Maybe it's sheer grit. Maybe it's your ethics. Maybe it's because you know people like you are waiting for people just like you. We all have our reasons, and for Republic Bank, that reason is you. Every little thing, every big thing. It's all about making a difference in your life. Because after 182 years, if it's one thing we're sure about, is that the difference is you. We're here to help.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, members of the public are being urged to be a part of discussions surrounding the development of the Jury Bill 2022 and have their concerns addressed before the bill can be passed in the House of Assembly. Well, in a recent interview with the Government Information Service, Director of Public Prosecutions Tiffany Scatliff, Registrar of the High Court Vereen Vanterpool Nibs, and Security and Justice Policy Advisor Alva Mackenzie Agard explored the ins and outs of the new legislation and the various changes that have been made to better align the bill with the modern-day needs of the territory and the recommendations made in the Commission of Inquiry report. But while public education activities of this kind continue, members of the public are urged to utilize an online form available on the Government of the Virgin Islands website to share their feedback and ask questions about the bill.
I'll encourage persons to read the bill. While the bill has gone through a reformation process, not everything in the bill is entirely new. It may be worthy to compare the current act with the new bill, but also to read it and, as my colleague said, to send in your questions, and we'll be more than willing to answer those questions.
Well, during the information session with GIS, the DPP stressed that members of the public need to familiarize themselves with the new provisions included in the bill and the jury system it outlines, given its integral role in the criminal justice system.
The Jury Bill 2022 is an essential piece of legislation. To go back to the history, the current Jury Act was passed in 1914. Of course, things were a lot different then in the BVI. And we started the process under the Law Reform Commission in 2009 to get a new jury bill that better facilitated the criminal justice process.
Law reform becomes necessary where there are societal changes. From 1914 to 2022, obviously the Virgin Islands have changed quite a bit. So the reformation of the Jury Act is imperative.
Well, members of the public can access the feedback form at http://bit.ly/jurybill 2022 and read the bill via the Government of the Virgin Islands website. But feedback can also be submitted via email at dgo@gov.vg or via one of the following phone lines, that is 468-3000 or 468-2195. Moving on, viewers, where the BVI USVI Friendship Day 2022 celebrations lasted weekend. The 2022 celebrations last weekend showcased BVI culture in grand style with a number of moving and exciting tributes from both territories. But the observation of the 50th anniversary of the first observance of the first BVI USVI Friendship Day saw leaders from both islands reflecting on the journey. Well, Permanent Secretary in the Premier's office, Mrs. Carolyn Stout-Egwe, began with a jovial welcome to all.
You see, this Friendship Day began in 1972, 50 years ago. Anybody has a friend so long? But we've been friends for 50 years plus. The persons who attended the Friendship Day, for the most part, they're not here with us today. But you are here, and we are to be grateful. Since we don't have anyone who was at the 1972 ceremony, how about if I ask those persons who are 50 plus to stand? If you're 50, I ain't say if you're turning 50, you have to be 50 plus to stand. Now, those of you who are sitting down, I want you to give a rounding applause to those 50 plus and fabulous in our midst. Come on. Shout for us. 50 and fabulous. All right. And y'all ain't look at the older than what they say you are. Have a seat. Thank you very much.
Well, Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley spoke about his strong ties with the USVI as well.
On behalf of my wife Carolyn and I, the government and people of the Virgin Islands, I welcome our friends from the US side of the Greater Virgin Islands to celebrate 50 years of friendship, which is our golden jubilee. This celebration is not only important to the people of the BVI and the people of the USVI, but it is personally significant to me. 50 years ago, my grandfather, the then Chief Minister, the late Willard Wheatley, stood where I stand today as the elected leader of the BVI, welcoming our USVI friends. To be here 50 years later truly demonstrates the resilience of our bond. Through hurricanes and pandemics, political turmoil and other challenges, we remain united as one people despite the waters which divide us.
Well, Governor of the BVI, His Excellency John Rankin, CMG, spoke about the many similarities of both territories.
We share, of course, a common name in the Virgin Islands, a name thought to have been given by Christopher Columbus on his second voyage to the region in 1493. But of course, our shared history goes well beyond the first Europeans to arrive, with the evidence of Amerindians' presence here on these islands as far back as 1500 BC, and the settlement of Arawaks in the 15th century, and then by the Caribs. Common people sharing these common islands. Our respective ties to the United Kingdom and the United States, of course, mean we have differences. Our national anthems are not the same, although our territorial song here in the BVI, celebrating our beautiful Virgin Islands, would apply equally to our dear neighbours.
Well, meanwhile, cultural icon and former legislator Eileen Parsons also eloquently presented on her upbringing in the USVI and how it contributed to her life success.
St. Thomas, at the start of World War II, you opened your arms to me, a little Tortola girl of 9. Leaving Tortola in Standard 2, the Tortola child was tested and on passing entered grade 4. The children laugh and tease me for my strange accent and my boomboot head. To take revenge, I studied my lessons with a vengeance. The Tortola girl with the strange accent was about to excel with lessons. Oh, the joys of you, St. Thomas. Ice cream cones and milkshakes. Saturday and Sunday afternoons, where for 10 cents, you enjoy movies at the Apollo Theater. 25 cents got you to Sugar Estate Racetrack, 10 cents admission, and 3 fricos. There was joy in my home and the Tortola community when I passed and entered high school CAHS. The pride of the Tortola community was riding on my shoulders. I was warned not to let them down, and I can't tell you the kind of warning that some of them give me. I graduated with a secretarial diploma with the class the stars fell on. I make no apology for saying that. I graduated with the class the stars fell on. The class of 49, and we gave the Vatican a cardinal. For you St. Thomians, that's Cardinal Bernard Law, my graduating class classmate and my good friend. A teenage marriage to my love from West End brought me back to you, Tortola.
Well, up next, viewers, Rishi Sunak to become UK's first British Asian PM and youngest PM in over 2 centuries. We get to that story when 24 News return.
Brilliant Hands and Minds tutoring services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you, you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my city life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, you enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes,
Good
Sonny.
morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut front of people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you? You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power? Hello?
Wait, you had a lunch and care? You don't say you were sick? What happened to our wedding rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
Alright, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Okay, honey. I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today.
The beautiful Virgin Islands, or nature's little secret as some prefer, where the weather stays warm and the drinks stay cold, where men in wigs get their lawyer bills paid by governments and governments lose planes, where walls are built and prisoners escape. You vacation where we suffer. BVI Love.
Well, welcome back, viewers, and thank you so much for sticking with us. Well, Rishi Sunak is set to become the United Kingdom's first British Asian Prime Minister and youngest Prime Minister in more than 200 years after his only rival, Penny Mordaunt, pulled out of the Tory leadership race. Well, according to reports from British news sites, nearly 200 Conservative MPs publicly backed Sunak as leader ahead of the nomination deadline this morning. Well, he is expected to take office in the coming days after a spokesperson of the outgoing Prime Minister Liz Truss told officials that the transition, which will see Sunak becoming the UK's 57th Prime Minister, will not occur today. While speaking briefly following the announcement, Sunak said he is, and I quote, humbled and honoured, end quote, to have the support of his fellow MPs and be elected leader. Take a listen.
I'd like to pay tribute to Liz Truss for her dedicated public service to the country. She has led with dignity and grace through a time of great change and under exceptionally difficult circumstances, both at home and abroad. I am humbled and honoured to have the support of my parliamentary colleagues and to be elected as leader of the Conservative and Unionist Party. It is the greatest privilege of my life to be able to serve the party I love and give back to the country I owe so much to. The United Kingdom is a great country, but there is no doubt we face a profound economic challenge. We now need stability and unity, and I will make it my utmost priority to bring our party and our country together. Because that is the only way we will overcome the challenges we face and build a better, more prosperous future for our children and our grandchildren. I pledge that I will serve you with integrity and humility, and I will work day in, day out to deliver for the British people.
Well, viewers, we will keep you updated on that developing story as well. But that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kamal Haynes, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a safe and enjoyable evening. Bye-bye.
Freeze. Choose your mix. Choose your flavor.
You value traditions. Today. You value music. You value education. Family. I love you. Service.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
Introducing a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. It doesn't always involve suits and bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons. I'm taking you outside in the field to share the journey of some of the BVI's best and brightest men. From East End to West End, Virgin Gorda to Jos Van Dyke, not forgetting Anegada. Our Virgin Islands gentlemen are doing the damn thing. We are the movers and shakers of this generation. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman. Season 4 by yours truly, Ron Grant. Raising a generation of greatness. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on 284 Media.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
There's a reason you get up on a morning. A reason you pick yourself up. Start the day. Maybe it's sheer grit. Maybe it's your ethics. Maybe it's because you know people like you are waiting for people just like you. We all have our reasons, and for Republic Bank, that reason is you. Every little thing, every big thing. It's all about making a difference in your life. Because after 182 years, if it's one thing we're sure about, is that the difference is you. We're here to help.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284 Media at CCT.